Meet Frank and Louise Wilmot. Frank, 75, is a retired engineer who enjoys gardening, fishing, and shouting at the television. Louise, 68, is a retired middle school teacher who likes to travel, read, and ignore Frank shouting at the television. They share their New England home with a happy little Wheaten Terrier named Bailey. It's Saturday morning in the Wilmot household, and Frank and Louise are enjoying their coffee on the back patio. Louise is flipping through photos of weed-free flower beds in a garden magazine as Frank scrutinizes the rose bushes surrounding the patio.
Do you remember the roses my father used to grow? The size of dinner plates, and not a beetle to be found. Look at these leaves. They've turned them into shreds.
Frank's made a hobby of plucking Japanese beetles off his roses for the last few weeks, but the beetles have called in reinforcements, so Frank heads off to the shed to take battle to the next level. The shed is dark and cluttered with half-empty spray bottles of the non-toxic and organic pest control products Louise has insisted on buying.
Lord knows we wouldn't want to use something toxic on bugs we're trying to kill, off plants we're not going to eat. Aha, just the ticket.
Louise looks up from her magazine to see Frank approaching the patio, donning rubber gloves.
Performing surgery on the roses, Dr. Wilmot?
Nope, just donning my armor for battle against the damned beetles. Can't be too careful with this stuff.
Thought you only spread that chemical on the lawn to kill beetles.
Well, I must not have gotten the buggers in their larva stage. And the label says it'll work on them once they're chomping stage, too.
Frank begins carefully spraying the rose bushes, but a sudden gust kicks the spray back onto his exposed forearm.
Maybe you ought to put on long sleeves. There's a bit of a breeze today. Don't get that stuff all over you, Frank.
Thank you, Captain Obvious. I'll try not to. I'm almost done here.
Finished, he closed the container and returned it to the shed, wiping off his forearms and a bit he spots on his shin before removing his gloves and disposing them in the garage trash.
You'd better wash up and use the dish soap. That gets off everything. And don't use my good towels to dry off. Good Lord. You got it on your shorts as well. Stand there. I'll get you a bag to put your clothes in, and you could strip down here on the patio.
Well, that ought to entertain the neighbors.
Frank emerged well scrubbed from the bathroom, wrapped only in a towel usually reserved for the dog. His forearm and the patch on his shin looked particularly pink, and he touched one area gingerly. Louise noticed too.
What have you got going there? Is that from washing up, or are you having a reaction to something? Does it hurt? Does it itch?
Now don't panic. It's just a little irritated. I think I got everything cleaned off, but...
I've got some first aid cream. I don't know if that would help. I'm going to toss your clothes in the trash.
Oh, no you don't, Louise. That's my good tie-dye shirt and my favorite cargo shorts.
All right. Let's call the Poison Center and see if they can help us with your skin and my laundry.
A quick call to the Northern New England Poison Center reassured Frank that his skin was likely having a mild dermal reaction. The specialist in poison information suggested long sleeves and long pants when using the product in the future. He also advised Louise that washing the shirt and shorts alone with hot water, regular detergent, and an extra rinse cycle should be enough to decontaminate them in this situation. The Northern New England Poison Center is your go-to resource to answer questions about household products, pesticides and fertilizers, medications, plants, and mushrooms. Serving Maine, New Hampshire, and Vermont, we're here 24/7 for free, confidential advice. You can call us at 1-800-222-1222 to speak with a specialist in poison information. You can text POISON to 85511 to initiate a text conversation, or go to nnepc.org to chat. There you'll also find invaluable information about many common topics as well as educational resources.